So I'm going to tell you something, but before I tell you, we have to come to an agreement. We are going to keep this between the two of us because it's very personal. Okay? We have an agreement. I'm actually holding my mic with my pinky because I want you to pinky promise that you're not going to tell anybody if I tell you this. Alright. So last year, on my birthday, there was a wedding. The groom was my ex-boyfriend and the bride was my best friend. Yet somehow, for some reason, I felt like I was expected to carry the shame. So to be very honest, it didn't come as a shock to me because while the relationship was ongoing, I saw the signs. But sometimes signs are not enough. So you let yourself give the benefits of the doubt. So you start seeing wonders and then you know that, okay. So last year, it was a Sunday evening. I remember so clearly. I was home, just scrolling through people's WhatsApp statuses, and then I saw this post. It was a video, and when I saw that video, I kind of knew what was coming next. I don't know, call it feminine intuition. I don't know exactly what it was, but I knew exactly what was coming next. And so the next post took a while, and when it came, it was what I was expecting, a wedding invitation between two people that the whole time we were together, I noticed the vibes were off and they swore there was nothing going on between them. And the timing was interesting because it had been barely 6 months since the very last attempt to get me to continue a relationship I had ended for some time because of the same factor. And barely 6 months since I had been reassured that there was nothing between them. But you never know. God works in mysterious ways, right? Today, we are talking about relationships. We are unpacking shame, we are unpacking betrayal, and we are discussing how to move forward from these unfortunate circumstances. So, yeah. This is The Long Way Around with Chiaky. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcast from. So last year when I saw this post, the very first thing I felt, surprisingly, was that I had been vindicated. And it was very interesting to me because during the whole time, I was being gaslighted. Obviously, I was made to feel like I was crazy for seeing what was obviously in front of me, what other people even pointed out to me and all that. And so when I saw the post, the very first thing I felt was vindication. But the issue with feeling vindicated is that it doesn't necessarily erase all the pain and anxiety that you have felt. So the very first thing I did was to call one of the church aunties. And this person was a very particular choice because first of all, I knew she really liked me. Secondly, I knew she stood for the right thing. Thirdly, I knew she was a safe space where I could just go say whatever was on my mind and not get charged for it. And this is something you don't get in a lot of places. So finding this safe space, I was able to offload everything I was thinking, everything that was going on in my head. I used some words that were not particularly churchy, but then the whole time she was just quiet. And at the end of the conversation, she said something to me. She said, "Chiaky, you're a very strong girl, and even if it was me, I wouldn't have known how to react. And these are things that can cause people to go mad. And that was all she said. Eventually, I ended the call because I didn't have much to say afterwards. But then having someone in that moment who was there for me, who was able to hold my feelings without feeling worked up as some other close friends and family would have done, but then also did not dismiss them, but then was just there to hold space, I think was very crucial in my healing journey. And I think that is one of the very first things that if I were to give you advice as your big sister, I would probably ask as well to consider, right? So something terrible happens to you. This is something you have been expecting for a very long time. This is something that you thought was going to happen. Now it finally happens to you. What do? It's very easy to be, for lack of a better word, a raging bitch, go on social media and then just talk about it, blab and blab and blab. But then sometimes that gives you the release you want, sometimes it really doesn't. You need to find your release, and I feel like that's one thing that unfortunately most of us don't know how to do, you see, because society has made it such that it is embarrassing, it is shameful to feel things. Most of us are not in tune with our feelings. Things are going on, we bottle them up because first of all we have no one to talk to about them, and secondly, even when we do have people, their reactions and the commentaries that they give to us make us feel like it would have been better if we kept these things to ourselves. And so it opens this topic up in two ways. First of all, the person who is receiving, and then the person who is going through it. And I think that these two people can be us at any point in time. There's a point in time where I am the one that people have come to come and share their problems. But then I never thought I would also have a time where I would also have to go to someone to share my problems. And in a society where we are always posting about check on your strong friends, check on their mental health and all that, I think it's important to also make ourselves or make that intentional effort to become the safe space that other people can really rely on. Okay, and this takes a lot of intentionality because right from birth, we are all conditioned in some particular ways. There's always social media, there's your parents, there's a lot of the things you see, and the world is not a safe place generally. The world is not safe for us. So if you want to be safe, you have to unlearn that conditioning that you have learned. And I also find that it's very important to be intentional about your contributions to some conversations that are had. Okay. So about being the person that people come to, I think it takes a lot more intentionality. Let me give an example. If you are dark skinned, right, and you are friends with me, and every day I'm posting, I do not like dark skinned people, keep dark skinned people far away from me. Or sometimes I might not even be that direct, but sometimes we are passing by the road and I'm like, well, this person would have been so beautiful, but fortunately he's dark skinned. What are you going to start thinking? After a while, you're going to think that I don't consider you very attractive. Even if I tell you 1,000 times that I think you're attractive, it's highly unlikely that you're going to think I really, really think that about you. And that's one thing that if I wanted to be a safe space for somebody, I would work on. You have to make sure that in all your sayings, in the things you are doing, you're not unintentionally sending a negative message to the people out there. You're not unintentionally coming off as judgmental. Because if you want people to choose you, you also have to make yourself worthy of being chosen. And so this evening, if I can give you an assignment, I think you should take a while, just reflect on your life and think about it. Are there times where maybe you have expressed very strong opinions on subjects that you think that the people around you might be struggling with or might have problems with? Sometimes you feel like you're being righteous, and that makes a lot of sense, but there are better ways to do things. So how about you take some inventory of your life? Also, the second part is being the person who has had this problem, and the person who has been betrayed, the person who has been left feeling stupid, the person who has been left in the dark, who wants to get out of it. Because at the end of the day, you can't really dwell on your past experiences. You have to move on. And I know that in as much as my personal experience sounds like a Nigerian movie, a lot of us have had similar experiences. And I think that the most important thing for me would be to open yourself up to the possibility of better experiences. So recently I posted something on my WhatsApp status, and what I basically talked about was a story that happened to me. So there were two people that employed me for a project. One of them never paid me, never said anything, just moved on. But then the other thought I was undercharging, and so decided to pay me extra, like almost double the amount I asked for, paid upfront and then added the balance later on. And my takeaway was that life presents you with two opportunities. There's always two situations or more if you believe in the gray area like I do. But usually they are bad and they are good. But I feel like most of the time it's your perspective, because getting to a point in my life where a lot of the times I've learned to see things as part of the learning curve. So a lot of these experiences don't really dictate or define me, because I'm quick to ask myself, what's the lesson here? And as much as we have negatives and we have positives in life, at the end of the day, we do have negatives and positives. So if you dwell too much on the negatives, you're going to end up erasing the positive aspects of your life. And if you dwell too much on the positives, you're not going to be prepared for the negatives. So you always have to find that middle ground, that kind of balance that positives and negatives happen. And if you are going to try to block yourself from the negative experiences, you're never going to experience the positives. Okay, even roses have thorns, and that is how life is. Moving on, after that whole experience happened, for the longest time, I didn't want anything to do with men. I stayed away from men for a very long time because I figured everybody was going to do the very same thing to me. And it was also difficult making friends, especially female friends, because I also figured that women would also hurt you. It's easy to look at it from one angle, but then when it's like from both sides, it's quite difficult. So there was that, but eventually I had to get over it. I had to open myself up to new experiences, because the moment you decide that life is going to be one way, you start dying a very slow and painful death. Even though people in your past have hurt you, have said negative things to you, have broken your heart, have betrayed you, there are people in your present and in your future that are never going to do that to you. You have to be willing to explore those options. And there's also this part of healing that a lot of us don't talk about. So a lot of the times we say that we are staying away from these situations because we want to avoid negative experiences. But what if you are staying away from these situations because you don't trust yourself to be able to heal if it happens again? Yes, you've been through one heartbreak, or 5, or maybe 7. But why stop there? Don't you think that you're capable of getting yourself out of a dark pit if it ever happens to you? Because the thing about life is that you can never actually predict people's actions or inactions. You can't control anybody but yourself. And if you want to actually keep moving on, keep exploring happiness, you have to be open and trusting enough of yourself to be able to handle everything that comes afterwards. And how do you build that trust with yourself? Systems. So one thing I have learned to do, I am not perfect at it. I still have fears of being betrayed by anybody around me. But one thing I have learned to do is to put systems in place. I always have a contingency plan. I do not expect the worst from people, but I do not rule out the possibility either. Because humans are humans. Whether intentionally or unintentionally, we are bound to hurt each other. And so you get to that point where you know that because I am investing in a human relationship, anything is bound to happen. So if this happens, what am I going to do about it? So some of my plans or my contingencies include support systems. I cannot really overestimate the importance of support systems. I have people in my life that I always go to. There are people that, and I also trust them to come to me if need be, to be able to express what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and to be able to go through it. And sometimes therapy or counseling serves as a support system. But if you can't afford it yet, doesn't mean you should stay at home and just die. Or if you don't have the trust or the ability to talk to people, it doesn't mean you should stay at home and just go through things. But it helps to have those people in your corner that you can speak to. And I think it also helps to be able to release in whichever way. Journaling. Sometimes you just want to get it out. Sometimes I make voice notes. I record how I'm feeling. I don't play it to anybody. I don't say it to anybody. But you get it out there. You write it in a book. And after that, you just close the book and it's done. Because you need to get what you're feeling out. You have to express it. If you're not expressing it, it's very likely it is somewhere in your head. But once it's come out, it's easier. And you also have to learn to be patient with yourself. That's one thing I have learned. Because sometimes you think that, oh, this thing happened to me a very long time ago. I should be over it by now. But once in a while it pops up. Once in a while it just comes back to mind. You're doing something important or something interesting and it comes up. Or you're in a new relationship but you can't seem to trust your partner, no matter how safe he proves himself to be. And at some point in time you start blaming yourself. Why can't I just move on? But you know one interesting thing about the brain? The brain is structured such that we tend to retain experiences to protect ourselves from future bad occurrences. That's how we've survived all this while. So if your human brain goes through a negative experience, you're more likely to keep that because it's trying to protect you from more negative experiences. So sometimes even the most harmless things can end up becoming triggers. And the fact that you're being triggered by these things doesn't mean that you're broken or you're irredeemable or that there's something absolutely wrong with you. It just means that you're human and you have to learn to be gentle and to be patient with yourself. So there are three things under having a system. First of all, you need your support system. Secondly, you need outlets. And thirdly, you need to be patient with yourself because healing takes time. It's not a linear path. And the more you expose yourself to people, the more you expose yourself to different situations in life, the more likely you are to heal. If you're going to sit in your room the whole time, if you're going to hide yourself because someone hurts you, at some point in time you think that you have healed. You wait until you're put in another relationship and you realize that you were just isolated. You never really healed because you never confronted what happened to you. You never really put in the effort to move past it. Let me just give you some big sister advice. Okay. As much as you are trying to heal and let our past dictate our future, there's also the part where you have to be wise. So the fact that you are opening yourself up to new experiences doesn't mean you're opening yourself up to any experience at all. Because if you did that, that would be terrible for you. So another thing that you have to learn how to do is to screen people. There are some triggers or there are some characteristics of people that you wouldn't want to have in your life, and you have to be able to have a system that helps you to know people enough to decide this person, yes, this person, no, and for what reason. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it. So when you go through circumstances or you go through experiences, it's always a good idea to take inventory. While you might find it easy to blame the other person, sometimes the other person might completely be at fault. It's also important to also try to figure out the kind of person you might be accepting into your life, because you attract all kinds of people but you only accept some people. It's like people are always sending job applications to be in your life, but you end up hiring some specific kinds of people. So you have to go through your eligibility criteria. You have to actually sit down, assess which qualities you want to see in people, which ones you're going to accept and for which reason, and which ones you're not going to accept. And that comes with fully knowing who you are, what you want out of life, and where you want to be. These three things. You need to know who you are, what you want, and where you're going. And once you know that, you know the qualities that you expect from yourself and the qualities you expect from the people around you. So it makes it easier to really determine who comes into your life, what you are going to tolerate, and what you are going to let go of. Okay, it's not always easy, and as I said earlier, humans cannot be predicted, but at least you save yourself some of that disturbance, some of that the issue with humans is that humans cannot be predicted. Yes, I've mentioned that earlier, but at least when you have these qualities, you know the kind of people you're having in your life, and you save yourself some disturbance, some heartbreak that you could have prevented, because at least now you have a system. You know, it's like, as I said earlier, job applications. If you decide to go onto the street and just hire someone walking, you might end up plunging your company into the mud. But if you go out into the streets and you have eligibility criteria, the people might not be perfect, but they'll be excellent at the role that you're hiring them for. And that is what I want you to understand. In as much as we can't control what people do to us, we can control the kind of people that we allow into our lives, the kind of people that would actually show us the love that we've been looking for, the kind of people we can show the love that they have also been looking for. And this brings us to the very last thing I would like to talk about. Okay. So as much as you are looking for the right people, it's important to make sure you're the right person. While you set standards for other people, make sure that these standards are standards you can uphold yourself. I don't believe in the concept of you attract what you are, but I believe in the concept that at the end of the day, no matter who you have in your life, it's always you, and you always have to face yourself. The voice in your head most of the time is the voice you have to listen to. The person you're going to spend the longest on this journey called life. So no matter what you do, make sure that at the end of the day, you are happy, you like yourself, and you like being by yourself. And most importantly, make sure that you are the person that you want to meet. And hey, life is going to teach you a few things, but make sure you're learning your lessons. Don't let the things that happen to you become the things that define you. At the end of the day, things will happen, but you choose what you want to make out of it. Life has both good and bad, and there's also that which is neither good nor bad. But I would encourage you not to categorize or to decide which one is good and which one is bad, because anything and everything can become whatever you choose to make it. Yes, even the most terrible experiences. Because one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever had to endure has now become a session that has served as a therapy session for both you and me. How about that? Anyway, that's all I have to say to you today. And if you've enjoyed this episode, let me know your thoughts. Really, I want to know what you think. If you'd like to share some experiences too, please feel free, by all means. Say something in the comments. Tell me what you think, how you're feeling, the systems you have in place. I'm definitely interested in hearing about it. And if you've enjoyed this episode, if you've enjoyed this video, if you've enjoyed this podcast, wherever you're listening or watching me from, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with anybody that you think might need this message. And till next time, can't wait to see you with another story to share as we navigate this life together. Bye.